I really keep on saying to myself, it's time for me to rest, and I've got to rest. I've got to listen to what well, I feel that it's God that wants me to rest or whatever. But I beg to differ from opinion, because he knows me better. He's the man that made me. That's it. So somebody was on today in Sky, and a relative, and asking that we want an inquiry now. We need an inquiry now. Everybody that has lost somebody and that feels that we need an inquiry to find out what's happened. Okay, there's COVID stuff, but then there's actual stuff that happened. So we've got to get that dealt with, and it's got to be done now. So everybody that feels that way, get in touch with your local councillor, get in touch with your local MP, and just keep on at it. Just keep the relentless bit up. As far as anything else goes, every doctor that became a doctor after 1967, any gongs that you got or whatever, regardless if it was knighthood or whatever it was, but you just get them parcelled up and wrapped up, and you make sure that they get to the gates up at Balmoral. Just leave them there and on you go. Mr. Harry Burns, according to you, you went into print to say it, that there's misdiagnosis, you know, but it's very rare, very rare. That's fine. So I believe that you actually like to bicycle up and down the Glenever Hills. So I've told my grandchildren that when they see you, if they've got a stick and it just sort of happens to sort of fall to the side or whatever, okay, so how rare is it, right? My mother, she was told that it was the eternal all, and that the doctor said that she was the one that was taking it as well. So I said, that's fine. If she's taking it and you're coming to me like that, then just you get back to her and tell her that I want you examined fully. And if it turns out that there's nothing wrong, that's fine. But if there is something wrong, then that's it. I'm going to sue the ass off a lot of you. Oh, when she said, oh, she's needing to be taken in to have a wee rest and a wee lie down, you know, she's no well, you know, that's it. So I put it in writing and gave it to my mother, told her to give it to her. My mother had cancer everywhere. It was too late, but we were trying. And then I met the doctor herself at the door, and my father had been trying to put another hole in his belt, and I said, you losing weight? And he says, I said, right, you're the same as her, down you go. And then she met me at the door and she says, I think he's just giving up, you know. His cancer was worse than my mother's. He went 3 months before her. Now, there's Peter Keenan the boxer, and the doctor comes up, and he's a bit forgetful. And they say, yeah, well, you were a boxer, that's it, you know. Not even a bloody aspirin. And he had cancer. And it was the secondaries that were going over his brain that caused the dementia that he had. Oh, listen. I could go on and on and on and on. You have been committing euthanasia since 1967. I've witnessed it. I have recorded it, everything. You have been doing Liverpool plan of care and do not resuscitate. In America, you sign a form and say that you don't want that. Apparently here, you need to get yourself a power of attorney. Huh? Call this a bloody democracy? I'm done with you, because I've got recordings of everything. You lost all my stuff for America. Listen, I've kept that, and they'll give me copies of everything else. Plus the fact that I've still got the letters that the psychiatrists, when he got me the MRI, and he saw that there was something there and felt that it was maybe the beginnings of Alzheimer's. Well, I've told you already what it is, and that's what I'm trying to deal with right now, so bugger off. So, next thing, Mr. Biden, you've got courage, you've got courage. I know you've got courage. and your dream was to one day be president, and you know, the ends justify the means. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And don't even start about Trump. Don't even start. I found out tonight that not only have you put a moratorium on the gas people and the pipeline, etc. You're closing that down. Well, Trump did his best to get somebody in that he has now managed to understand that the Constitution gives him the right, and what he's done is put a pause on that. But then I found out from my pal, not only have you done that, but when you were over here, you started up a pipeline that he was going to go, oh, Joe. It's time. It's time. Now I'm asking you for the last time. I want to know about the boats that were caught off Cork with Kalashnikovs. And I was in Carney at the time, and my pal Betty Lynch was in there, and she sees the buckets, the dollars, you know, for the boys back home to get the guns, etc. And then green cards out to Sinn Féin, and they go to Boston, where Teddy Kennedy is a Republican. So it's a Republican, conservative Republican, right? I didn't even put a slash in between it. It's all one word. That's what you all are, because you're no adding it all up. This is the most infectious disease that ever there was, and we've got to get it under control. And there's no time for carry on like what you lot are doing. And I'll tell you something else. Hillary Clinton at the back, you know, she's the one that was organising Obama from the back, because she wanted to be president and she wanted to have the health care and whatever. President Trump had done something about that. But the way that it wasn't going to work. It was going to be too expensive, but he managed to get it. So that's what I'm saying to you. Time to own up to the fact that you're in the Good Friday for what? You're in the Good Friday because you're the ones that actually caused it. You were at the back of it with the money. You were supporting it. You were financing it, everything. So that's why. And they knew it's starting up again, and these children's lives are in danger. I'm going to finish that now. I'll be back with another one.